Go. Welcome to the true cause of inflation. I'll type it in. Cause of inflation. There you go. There you go. And let's see how many millions already are interested in to answer that question about the true cause of inflation. Well, there are already 2 million viewers. Now that's, you see, most people are not interested at all in how their money works, because they say, let's leave that up to those who understand. And those who understand how money works, they laugh about you. About you who are not interested in these things. We understand now Henry Ford Jr., welcome dear friends, when he says, I have a quote of him here. Henry Ford Jr. He says, well, I know it by heart. If people would know how their money system really works, we would have revolution by tomorrow. Yeah. But people seem not to be interested in it. And this will be the sort of the test run, dear friends. Test run. Can you understand me well? Let's see how that works. Can you hear me? You can hear me, and you see, I hope it is without the humming and summing. Can you hear some zzz or something? Very good. Now, dear friends, this is a test run of our soon to come page, The Movement, in 10 languages, where you will find not only the cause of all misery in the world, but the way out, which is interest-free money. And there, it's almost like if you go to school there. Yes, we debate, we talk about things, but first and foremost, this is for people who really want to learn something. And if you want to learn something, you don't go to school and interrupt the teacher every 2 minutes. But you listen and learn. And then you can, Then there is a question and answer. Believe me, all questions here are answered on that soon-to-come page of The Movement. Yep. Now, today's topic, what is the cause of inflation? Everybody says, inflation, too much money. Oh, really? You know that before each war, the butter, the butter, let's say a pound of butter costs $20 billion. You know, oh, how so? Yeah. I will explain that here. How that is possible, because few people will be able to explain to you how inflation occurs. Now, one way that we are heading towards inflation right now, which I teach also in my German book, Der Rubel muss rollen, which means money must be in circulation. Actually, it's a saying. We say the ruble must roll, which is a currency, Russian currency, which actually means the money must be in circulation. Now, if you withhold money from circulation, if you withhold money, there's too little money and you have inflation. Now, how can I say that if inflation means too much money? Very easy. See, these things you have to understand and learn, and then suddenly everything is not so difficult anymore. In our present system of interest-bearing money, that means that you can hoard money and get interest for it. People, of course, are interested, especially the billionaires, to hoard money, to put it aside, to take it out of the circulation and put it aside in the SOC or in an Austrian bank or in Switzerland or somewhere. So now what is happening now is there is suddenly too little money in circulation. Why? Not because those who want to make money with it without working for it, I call it working free money, working free income, that is it. They take their money, which they have, their billions, put them aside, and cash in the interest, which is about 5%, 10%, 15%, it depends. So now they get constant money, but they have removed billions from the circulation. Now the Federal Reserve scam system, how I call it, or the EZB, the EZB, European Central Bank, has to print more money because there's not enough money there. Now they print more money to augment the standard and to have enough money into circulation. Now, those who see, hey, there's money there, oh yeah, what do we do with our money? We have to put it back into circulation because the value shrinks. Now those who have hoarded the money before put it back into circulation. Now we have too much money. Now we have tendency for inflation. All this is caused, dear people, with interest-bearing money or interest-bearing currency. And this is why we had to remove this money system. One suggestion I read on the internet is we have inflation, we have problems, don't print any more money. That is the dumbest that you could do. Money is a wonderful thing if it is used properly. In our page, The Movement, you will learn how interest-free money will solve all problems. In such a system, it's not capitalism, it's not communism, I call it humanism. You can still become millionaire, you can still become rich, but you cannot become poor. It cannot be like, for instance, right now in Germany, we have about 10 million people who live below the standard of surviving, should I say. Now, Bert Brecht said, there is only one bigger crime than to rob a bank, and that is to found a bank. To found a bank. You know, a new bank, or any bank. And it's very cynical, but he's in the present system, Mr. Bert Brecht would be right. Can you follow me until now, dear friends? I look here. Let me know. That's exactly. We talk about that, Petita. This woman is mentally unstable. Miss Merkel is mentally unstable. And you have to be mentally unstable in order to become a marionette, a robot of the Illuminati. Now, today I'll give you another example of the cause of inflation. And I quoted Henry Ford in the beginning. It is well that the people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Right, he was. But, you see, we have many revolutions, but they all rebel against something they have no clue about, instead of inform themselves. This is why we have the movement here, so that if you want to demonstrate worldwide, dear friends, you have to inform yourself first. Otherwise, they send you the police, and they hit you on your head until you understand. So be smart. Be smart and know where your real enemies are. 1 second. Where are the enemies? So, we continue. Dear friends, this is the beginning of a movement which will go worldwide. And it will be a movement of learning and information. Not just running on the streets like Occupy does and Greenpeace. They have good intentions and little knowledge. Otherwise they would use their energy to demonstrate against the real thing. And I'll tell you something. If interest-free money, which we promote here on this, we will promote on this website, if interest-free money rules, you don't need any political parties anymore. You'll see. Now, a little example. Inflation per se is simple to understand. More money, less value. Sounds strange, but it is like this. More money, less value. May seem contradictory. Now, one moment. So, my dear friends, more money, less value. But it's straightforward. Now, let me give you a little example of what I mean. Let's assume that tomorrow on your bank, or now, suddenly, you have double amount of money on the bank. You had $10,000, suddenly you have 20. Let's say by a magician, you know. Money is magical anyway, because how is it possible that money by interest becomes more? By what physical, biological event? I don't understand. It's an agreement just, more, not more. Now let's assume your money on the bank is double, you have double as much money on the bank, which would make you very happy, right? I tell you, in that moment you have only half of it that you had before. Nowhere you may read this, or you may have heard of this. If you have double as much money on the bank, on the long run, you have only half of it as you had before. Now, what would you do if you would have double as much money on the bank? Normal people say, hey, great, we buy now. Now we consume. Yeah, let's fly to Hawaii or to Maldives. Let's make holiday. We have more money now. And so if you do that, because you can afford it now, maybe you even pay back some debts, which is a good thing, because you have now double as much money on the bank than before, which you think you have.